Did you know that right now, in 2026, over 320,000 vehicles were recalled because they could literally burn your house down? Or that a brand new engine rolled off the factory floor packed with actual sand, destroying motors before owners even made their second car payment? And people are still buying these cars. We're counting down the 8 worst offenders, from bad to absolutely unforgivable. If you're shopping for a car this year, this video could save you thousands. Number 8. Lexus LX600. Before Lexus loyalists jump in, this isn't an attack on the brand. Lexus built its reputation on decades of bulletproof reliability. And in this segment, that reputation came from the legendary LX570. That truck was rock solid. A naturally aspirated 5.7-liter V8 sourced from the tundra. Simple, proven, and capable of 300,000 miles without breaking a sweat. Owners trusted it. Mechanics respected it. Resale values proved it. Then came the shift. With the LX600, Lexus replaced that V8 with a new 3.4-liter twin-turbo V6. On paper, it's everything you'd want. More power, better efficiency, modern engineering. But in reality, it introduced something Lexus buyers aren't used to: uncertainty. This engine family has already been tied to major issues. The Tundra was hit hard. The GX550 followed. And now the LX600 sits in the middle, with concerns ranging from engine debris contamination to bearing failures, problems that simply didn't exist before. Here's the bottom line: you're spending $110,000 to $120,000 or more. At that level, you shouldn't be testing a new powertrain. You shouldn't be watching recalls stack up or wondering what happens next. Could this engine prove itself over time? Maybe. But right now, it hasn't. And until that changes, the LX600 remains a stunning SUV with one major problem: an unproven heart that makes it a risky buy in 2026. Number 7. BMW 7 Series. Let's be fair right out of the gate. The B58 engine in the 740i is one of BMW's best modern engines. It's smooth, strong, and relatively dependable. Paired with the ZF 8-speed automatic, the driving experience is excellent. No real complaints there. But this is where things start to fall apart. All-wheel drive transfer case failures have been documented, and not at high mileage. These issues often show up just outside warranty. Close enough to hurt, far enough that the repair bill lands entirely on you. Step up to the 760, and now you're dealing with the 4.4-liter twin-turbo V8, the N63. Yes, it's been improved over time, but the core challenge remains: the hot V design. Turbos sit inside the engine valley, creating intense heat. That leads to oil consumption, valve guide wear, and heavily stressed turbos. And it doesn't stop there. Plastic coolant components crack, water pumps fail, thermostats go, oil lines leak. Every repair is expensive, and everything is tightly packed under the hood. That's the real issue with the 7 Series. It's not outright unreliable. It's extremely complex. And when something breaks, the cost is brutal. We're talking $3,000 service visits, $8,000 suspension repairs, even $15,000 engine work. This is a car for people who can truly afford it, not just to buy, but to maintain. For everyone else, the 7 Series is a financial trap dressed like a luxury flagship. Number 6. Range Rover Full Size, 2022 to 2026. This one hits anyone who thought a 6-figure British SUV guaranteed peace of mind. The full-size Range Rover, model years 2022 through 2026. Start with the air suspension, because this is where ownership turns painful. The system is incredibly smooth and capable, but it's also a financial time bomb. When those air springs fail, and statistically they will, you walk out to find your $120,000 SUV sagging overnight. Each corner can cost $3,000 to $4,000 to fix, per corner. If multiple corners go, which isn't uncommon, you're staring at a $12,000 to $16,000 bill just to restore ride height. That's not a repair. That's a down payment on something reliable. Then there's the powertrain. The top trims use BMW's 4.4-liter twin-turbo V8, the same N63. That means familiar issues: heat management challenges, oil consumption, cooling system failures, and long-term wear concerns. And it doesn't stop there. Electrical problems remain a constant theme. Door sensors fail, modules throw errors, warning lights come and go, infotainment glitches, driver assist systems acting unpredictably. Now look at the market. Search used listings over 50,000 miles. They're everywhere, and prices drop fast. That tells you everything. Owners are exiting quickly, and buyers are cautious. The Range Rover looks incredible. The interior is top tier. The presence is unmatched. But underneath, it demands constant money, attention, and patience. And at this price, that's a problem. Number 5. Mercedes-Benz EQB. Now we're stepping into genuinely dangerous territory. Mercedes-Benz was once the gold standard: precision engineering, long-term durability, cars that felt special the moment you got behind the wheel. That reputation wasn't built overnight, and it's not something buyers expect to question. Then came the EQB. Between 2024 and 2026, more than 12,000 units were recalled over a serious issue: fire risk. Not a minor defect, not a software annoyance, a battery-related problem that could overheat and, in documented cases, lead to fires. Mercedes guidance made it worse. Owners were told not to park in garages, keep the vehicle away from homes and structures, limit charging to 80%. Think about that. You spend around $80,000 on a luxury electric SUV, and you're told to treat it like a potential hazard. That's not premium ownership. That's damage control. The initial fix was a software update to manage charging. When that didn't fully resolve the issue, some vehicles required complete battery replacements. But once trust is broken at that level, it's not easily restored. And beyond the battery concerns, the EQB carries the now familiar list of modern Mercedes electrical issues: lane assist faults, sensor glitches, infotainment crashes, random warning lights, problems that appear without warning and disappear just as quickly. On paper, it's fine. Up to 425 kilometers of range, decent power, solid practicality, but none of that matters if you're hesitant to park it in your own garage. Mercedes-Benz used to be the benchmark. Right now, the EQB feels like a risk wrapped in a luxury badge. If you're finding this information helpful, take 1 second to hit that like button and subscribe to help us reach 100,000 subscribers. Appreciate your support. Number 4. Audi Q4 E-tron. We're staying deep in the world of troubled European electrics, the Audi Q4 E-tron. Volkswagen Audi Group made a massive bet on EVs. They moved fast, pushed hard, and told the world electric was the future. Now they're dealing with the consequences. Look at Porsche, one of the most iconic brands in the world, reportedly seeing profits collapse after rushing EV rollouts, mispricing models, and misreading what buyers actually wanted. That same urgency shows up here. The Q4 E-tron is what happens when speed to market beats product readiness. Consumer Reports ranks it well below average for predicted reliability. And here's the key issue. These aren't early production bugs that got fixed. Owners are still reporting the same problems years later. The issues didn't disappear. They became standard. What are we talking about? Infotainment crashes mid-drive that require full system resets, MMI failures leaving screens black, charging inconsistencies, slower than expected rates or failure to charge properly, random warning lights with no clear cause, driver assist glitches, false lane warnings, buggy heads-up displays, and inconsistent adaptive cruise control. And after all that, the range is about 250 miles, roughly 400 kilometers. That's not leading anymore. Tesla has been ahead for years, and newer competitors are pushing even further. It gets worse. The Q4 shares its MEB platform with the Volkswagen ID.4, another vehicle with well-documented reliability issues. So what are you really buying? A premium badge on a problematic foundation. The Q4 E-tron isn't just unreliable, it's uncompetitive. And when you combine those two things at this price point, you're taking a risk that doesn't make sense. Number 3. Volkswagen Taos. This one earns the title of the most statistically disastrous vehicle on this list. Let's start with the numbers, because they're shocking. Most reliable vehicles, think Toyota, Honda, average about 100 to 140 problems per 100 vehicles. That's roughly one issue per car. Normal, manageable. The Taos, over 300 problems per 100 vehicles. That means the average owner is dealing with 3 or more separate issues. You're not just buying a car, you're signing up for repeat visits to the service department. Consumer Reports ranks Volkswagen among the least reliable brands this year. And within that lineup, the Taos sits dead last. Transmission issues were so severe early on that Volkswagen had to replace the original dual-clutch gearbox with a traditional automatic. But by then, the damage was done, and the fix didn't solve everything. Then there's the 1.5-liter turbocharged EA211 engine. carbon buildup leading to misfires, random stalling at low speeds, check engine lights tied to sensors, fuel system issues, and persistent electrical problems. It's a pattern that feels all too familiar, similar to what Honda faced with its 1.5T issues, fuel dilution, carbon buildup, and costly long-term failures. What makes this worse is that Volkswagen knows how to benchmark properly. Look at the Toyota Corolla, affordable, simple, and built to last. Reliability wasn't optional there. It was the foundation. The Taos feels different. It looks good on paper. It looks good in a parking lot. But beneath that, it's plagued with issues that turn ownership into frustration. If you're shopping in this segment, this is one vehicle you should seriously think twice about. Number 2. Jeep Grand Cherokee 4xe. And now we're firmly in dangerous territory with the Jeep Grand Cherokee 4xe. And the fact this isn't number 1 tells you how serious the next entry is. Jeep's legacy was built on simplicity and toughness. The old 4.0-liter inline-six with a manual transmission, durable, dependable, built for real-world use. That was the Jeep identity, rugged and honest. Then came the push into luxury. Jeep wanted to compete with BMW and Audi, so they introduced the Grand Cherokee 4xe, a plug-in hybrid pairing a 2.0-liter turbocharged four-cylinder with an electric motor, producing 375 horsepower. On paper, it sounds impressive. In reality, it's been a disaster. More than 320,000 units were recalled due to fire risk. These vehicles can ignite while parked, no warning, no movement, just sitting still. Stellantis responded by telling owners not to park in garages or near structures. Think about that. A $60,000 to $70,000 family SUV, and you're told to keep it away from your home like a hazard. And the danger doesn't stop there. Reports show these vehicles can lose propulsion while driving. You accelerate, and nothing happens. The system resets like a frozen computer while you're in traffic. That's not an inconvenience. That's a safety risk. Then there were cases of manufacturing contamination, residual sand left inside engines, brand new vehicles requiring full engine replacements before owners even made a second payment. Hybrid technology can work. Toyota and Honda have proven that for decades. But here, the execution failed. The Grand Cherokee 4xe isn't just flawed, it's unpredictable. And at this level, unpredictability isn't acceptable. Number 1. Infiniti QX50/QX55. And here we are, number 1. The single worst vehicle you can buy in 2026. The one that combines overambitious engineering, serious reliability concerns, and a financial trap that catches buyers every single month. The Infiniti QX50 and QX55. Start with the engine. Infiniti's VC Turbo, a variable compression 2.0-liter, is one of the boldest ideas in modern engineering. It can change compression ratios in real time to balance power and efficiency. On paper, it's brilliant. In reality, it's incredibly complex. That system relies on additional links, joints, and actuators layered on top of a standard engine. Add direct injection with its carbon buildup risks, and then pair it with a CVT transmission, one of the most failure-prone designs in the industry. Now you have both the engine and transmission as potential weak points. The VC Turbo has faced recalls tied to bearing and engine failures. Not minor issues, but major mechanical breakdowns. And once the warranty ends, the CVT becomes your problem. Replacement costs can exceed $7,000. That's where the real trap begins. Infiniti and Nissan rely heavily on aggressive lease deals. Low monthly payments make these vehicles look like incredible value. But that value only exists while the warranty protects you. Once it expires, the risk shifts entirely to the owner. Meanwhile, competitors like Toyota, Honda, and Hyundai offer stronger reliability at similar price points. The QX50 and QX55 take the top spot because they combine complexity, failure risk, and misleading affordability into one package. Don't let a low monthly payment turn into a very expensive mistake. 8 cars, hundreds of thousands of recalls, sand in engines, batteries that can burn your house down, and a $7,000 transmission bill hiding behind a low monthly payment. The warnings are out there. Now you know. If you've owned any of these, drop your experience in the comments. We want to hear your story. And if you enjoyed the content, smash that like button and subscribe to help us hit 100,000 subscribers. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.